Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out looking for treasure. Things like gold and silver. Now this is the third in the series as we go through this $15 box of miscellaneous earrings from the thrift store. This is the gold, or probably gold. There's a couple things in here we need to test. Hopefully we'll get to that by the end of this video, but man, at the rate we're going now, might be the next video. And this is all silver that came out of there. So we're doing very well for our $15 to be sure, but more importantly, we're seeing all sorts of interesting things and we are having fun doing it. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this. Now, normally, and if you watch the previous videos, you'd see where the magnet will pick up all sorts of stuff for you. And we'll pick up a few things here, looks like, still. Man, I guess we are still picking up a few things with the magnet. And in that, like in the first video, you'll see that I really was able to go through and pick up a lot of the stuff that's just ferrous, things that react to the magnet are generally steel. Now, we ended up with some pieces in the first or second video that are actually marked 585, which is like a European mark, typically European mark for 14 karat gold. And those pieces reacted to the magnet. So we're not sure what's going on with those. I think we're going to have a little testing at the end and see if they're fake. Or what's going on. They're also marked Studex, and I don't know what Studex is. I haven't had a chance to actually look that up yet. But here we've got a bunch of stuff that is magnetic. Anything that doesn't have a back on it, we can just have a glance at and see, is there something else going on? Is it one of our magnetic sterling pieces? Because sterling, if it has a high nickel content, can definitely react to the magnet. So the magnet is something that lets you look closer. For example, here we want to look closer at this, which means we want to separate out the two and see if one is magnetic and one is not, because there, we know the back is magnetic. But was that put on a... Nope, that was put on... Yep, just a plated piece. A good looking plated piece, mind you, but just a plated piece. So the magnet is a tool. It is not going to be proof positive that something is not gold or silver, but it will help you much more quickly plow through a big pile like this. So we don't have to look for the markings on each little piece. Well, that's weird. So here's an example of something that I find a little odd. See, this side, whatever's in that slot up top is pretty magnetic, but the rest of it doesn't seem to be. What? $10 karat. Okay, so this is a good example of where you want to also use your other senses. We're not just taking, the magnet's word for it. We're also looking at stuff and saying, that looks good. That looks like gold. And it's because it is gold. This is a 10 karat piece. And whatever on earth is going on with that thing on top there, it's a little piece of metal set in there. Or a magnet. And there's a stone inside of it. I wonder if you can swap out the stones. Is it a little magnet that lets you change? Oh, I wonder if it's like a magnetic that lets you change the stone to your birthstone or something. That is interesting. But I think it is 10 karat. So yeah, that's an extremely good example of where the magnet is very useful. It got something into our hands and we were able to dismiss quite a few things fairly quickly. But then, because we were really looking close, we got a little bit of gold out of there. Now, that's another thing too. When you're buying something like this, if someone doesn't have a lot of time, they may end up overlooking stuff like that very easily, especially if they're relying on the magnet. And it's easy to rely on the magnet. You can very quickly like dismiss a lot of stuff, and it can tell you things about a piece that will save you a huge amount of time, especially when you're going through all of this. Look at that. Didn't we just have that one? It's a pair of whatever those are. Those are weird. Hey, if you know, leave a comment. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It really helps out the channel. It's one of the things too. If you are a regular viewer on YouTube, make sure anybody that you, especially these little creators, if you're on a page of like a little creator, make sure that you are subscribing to them. Maybe drop in a comment when you have a chance. You will definitely be doing them a bigger favor than you can imagine. All right, what is this that was just sitting in my hand? 925, 925. Into the 925 you go. There's a lot of little creators that, you know, getting a subscriber here or there, or having a comment that just says, hey, good job. It really cheers them up. There's a lot of people that have been working at it for a long time, and they can definitely use your pick-me-ups. That looks like silver, and this was stuck in it, and that is something. $925, also silver. Yeah, it's kind of funny, and I think there's this new thing, and I'm not sure how it works. Somebody says there's like hype you can do too. If you see that and you like somebody, I think that probably really helps them out. Oh, that's a pretty little garnet, looks like. That's got to be silver, right? Yeah. Yeah, we're silver right there, 925. Nice little garnet. Now, in the last video, we hit this with a black light, so I don't think there's any rubies in here. That sure looks nice. Oh, interesting. I have never seen a back like that. Does it screw on? How does it go? Oh, I think it looks nice because it's gold. What does that say? Let me hit it with them. We have 10K. Into the gold you go. Ooh, what's this? Oh, that's pretty. Oh, look how pretty that is. All the stones are set in there. What does it say for us? Nothing. Sometimes these markings can be extremely fine. Well, I'm going to check that into the gold for testing because I want it to be gold. I don't see any markings on it, however. It does look like gold, and the construction leads me to believe that it's gold. But if it is, it's not marked as such, which happens. And actually, that'll happen sometimes when you have like two pieces. One side will be marked and the other side won't be, which is a little bit annoying. 925. But, you know, with some of the higher end stuff, I think that ends up happening. 925. Man, there is a lot of 925 in here, isn't there? 925. Let's just keep grabbing, shall we? 925. I don't think so. I think this might even be magnetic. No. You see where the plating ends right there? Well, that's cool. I don't think it's anything, though. Nope. So yeah, we are definitely down to a point where we're just going to be looking at these manually. That is maybe going to take us a while. But they should be on the haft there. Whew. That doesn't look good to me. The quality looks a little low. But I think it's just because it's chunky. STER, sterling. Now is the back. Nope. The back is not. The earring is. There's a real pretty stone. All right, we're going to put that in our, we have a little stone thing here. Put them all in there. Oh, this is another pretty stone. Yeah, to a certain degree. Pretty enough to go in our stone thing. Whew. Shiny. Do I see a 14K mark? I do see a 14K mark. So the back is 14K. Let's look close. Yep, hard to see, but right there, 14 karat. That's pretty cool. Probably CZs. I feel like this would be a little bit more if those were diamonds, because those are kind of big. I feel like it would be more substantial. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But you know what we will do is we will gem test later. That's interesting. I saw some numbers there. What numbers did I see? 585? That's gold. So we know the back is gold. Right there, maybe? Let's have a look. Yep, it's either 10K or 14K right there. It is teeny tiny writing, though. Wow, that's pretty cool. I wonder if those are like sapphires or something. Man, there's some neat stuff in here, isn't there? They're coming up with a lot of gold now. But that is generally how these things go. The lower down you get, the... There we go. I think that's gold right there. Is that what that says? Is that 14? Yeah, it is. And the other thing, too, is it looks like it's threaded. I feel like... I'm going to pour everything out over here. Zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. I feel like I saw... Oh, no, that's not gonna... Nah. All right. But we got a little 14K butterfly. Let's put all the rest of our 14K back in here. I don't think that was threaded. I think it was just a little bit like, I don't know, a little jagged maybe. Oh, no. I got to pause the video for a second. I just went and lost one off the side of my table. That is a slight disaster. We're good. Found it right away. Little tip, if you ever drop something, just stop and look for it before you do anything else. Little gemstone, little, oh, that was just a bead. Okay, what else we got in here? Boy, we got some stuff. You can see a mark right there. But you see how it's a mark, but what mark is it? It is a very filled in 925. So this maybe is like a silver with rhodium over the top of it. What do we got here? Not seeing nothing on this one. Whew. It's getting a little hot in my room here. That doesn't look like anything. Don't see any markings on it. Away you go. What are you? You're cute. Oh, interesting. I think there was a stone glued in there, maybe. Kind of weird. I would say that's sterling. Yeah, there it is. It's sterling. 925. 925. Nope. Nope. That's a nice shape on that back, isn't it? 925 and 925. Nine two five. Got the right tarnish for 925 on that little stud there. Do we see it marked? Oh yeah, it's right there. Dang hard to see though. I think maybe. I hit it with the loop here real quick. On there, it's almost scraped off though. So things get really slow at this point, but there we go. We got 925. The backer though, I don't think is. Nope. That's pretty. That sure looks like gold, doesn't it? I think it probably is. Let me look at it with the loop here real quick. We have 10K right there. I will try to keep doing that. Obviously, this is going to get pretty tedious. So I'll be pausing and we'll just be having a close look. Because, man, this is just going to take a bit. Probably longer than anyone watching one of my videos wants to see. Although, I'll tell you, if you find this kind of stuff out and about, it is worth getting a handle on where you're going to find the markings. Okay, serge. So that's surgical steel back on 925. So I think anyone who is watching this video right now, there we go, 925. and is gonna continue to watch this video is probably gonna do so for training themselves to find the little markings on these things. So I guess the question is, there's 925. I guess I'll just keep going this way. And if you're enjoying it, you're enjoying it. You can let me know in the comments. And if you're not enjoying it, you're probably off watching one of my other videos. Yeah, there we go. What's that say? 925. And I just put it back there accidentally. But so it goes. 14K. We like that. And 14K. Nice. That's got a real silver look to it. That's an odd back, isn't it? So let's say, yeah, 929. 95? Oh, 950. 950 silver. That's what looks interesting. Huh. 950 is 95% as opposed to 92.5%. 14K, look at that. Mexico. Yeah, there you go, 14K, Mexico. I wonder what that stone is. Yeah, this one is good, isn't it? Well, that's cool. $925. That is nothing. You can see where the plating ends. Oh, is that a peridot? Probably not. It's probably just glass. You can see it's just a costume. That is one cloudy little stone. Weird. Look at that. Silver, I think. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, 925. 925. Some kind of fire opal, maybe. That's pretty. 925. Nope. Nope. See where all the plating ends. $925. $925 back. China. $925. Ooh, this one looks like it's gold. Yeah, that's got a real gold look to it, doesn't it? 14K right there. $925. Wow, there's a lot of good stuff in here. And, you know, it's not too big of a surprise, really. Sometimes what will happen with a lot like this, too, at a thrift shop, is that it will be like somebody was collecting this, and it all just came in at a garage sale in, like, a baggie. So, you know, you always want to make sure that you keep your stuff somewhat labeled or make sure somebody knows what your stuff is. Definitely with estate sales, stuff goes to the thrift shop that probably shouldn't. Let me look at this one. Yeah, so I would have thought this one was silver by all the tarnish, but that says 10 karat. So that's a good example of a 10 karat that got tarnished up. And like, especially like 10 karat in like a hot tub can get really, really tarnished. That's a good shape. I like that shape for the back. That shape makes me think we're looking at gold potentially. What does it say? 925. So it's just fancy silver, which is good too. I won't say no to fancy silver. Ooh, it's got a good color to it. What's it say right there? I think it's probably gold-plated silver, maybe. Yeah, China. We've got quite a few of these. 925 from China. That might be what this is. Nope. This one's nothing. You can see where the plating ends. I think this is the same thing. Yep. This is the same thing. All right. So what I'm going to do at this point is I am going to actually shut off the camera because I feel like there's 925. I feel like we've done a pretty good job of getting down to the brass tacks here, or the gold pieces, if you want to put it that way. And I'd like to just off camera do this tedious bit for a minute and get all the stuff that isn't gold or isn't silver, gold or silver, put away. And then I'll come back to you with a handful of gold, handful of silver. Because I think we could be here all day otherwise in this video. And I don't want to do that. I want this video to be the last one in the series. And I want you to get test results on this. If you've been watching the series, you probably want to know, are some of these things gold? With that, it will just be a moment for you, but it will probably be a long time for me. I did a bunch of sorting. So I don't know that I want to stretch this into another one, but all of these I think are silver. I think. There could be some gold in here too. But like a lot of the ones that look like gold, keep in mind when you're doing this, will frequently end up being, oh no. That says 585. 585. Okay, well, I guess that one will end up being gold. But a lot of times it'll end up being like vermeil. And then there's also white gold. So, you know, you might have a big pile of something that you think is silver, and there will be pieces in there that are actually like white gold. This one is 925. And that one goes with it. That's its mate. But there is just so many that are decent in all of this stuff that it's taking me more time than I feel is maybe entertaining in a video. So what we'll do here is I'll just double check all of these things are silver. I'm pretty certain they are. We actually found like some mates to some of them. And then we'll look at our bit of gold over here, or stuff that I think is gold. This stuff I think might be gold. So we'll double check that on camera. Hopefully that is entertaining enough. And if I find any gold in here, I'll just chuck it in there. I'm going to make special note of something here. This was in the silver. And there's a few things about it that caught my eye. One, it's very nicely made. Two, it's been worn a lot. There's a bunch of dead skin on it. And that made me go, I should not just dismiss this. Now, I cannot get it on camera, but right there it actually says 14K in the teeniest, tiniest letters you ever did see. And it's white gold. So you might not have, if you end up buying a lot like this, it might not be as rich as this one, because this one is proven to be very, very, very rich. And I think that's because it's the end of the summer. But you will potentially find things like this, even in ones that aren't very rich. And the only real way to spot them is to be able to see quality. But yeah, that is crazy enough. That's 14 karat. Probably a diamond, we're gonna have to do another video, aren't we? I can't actually get through this. We're gonna have to have a part 4 or 7 or whatever we are. What a load of, I mean, look at all this. That's all silver. I think most of that's silver. Yeah. All right. With that, I'm gonna finish off with a couple things. When in our last video, we're gonna break out the gem tester, and we will also do the gold testing. So we're gonna have a video that's just gem testing a bunch of stuff, basically. And I will have gold tested the few things in here that actually need the gold test. For example, one of the things which you may have been interested in was that earring. I found the other one. Now, I wonder if these are rubies. I'm just gonna hit it with the black light real quick. The black light will make them glow if they are pretty bright. No, I don't know what they are. Generally, rubies glow like nobody's business under the black light, and these aren't. So if anyone can tell me what those might be, and we'll hit them with the gem tester in a bit. Now, in both of these cases, I thought maybe one side would be marked because I thought these would be gold, and neither side seems to have a mark on it, even a little itty bitty teeny tiny one. So we will be testing these. So at the beginning of the next video, we'll know if those are gold or not. And then the other thing that I found while I was going through all this is the other one of these. Those are both the 14 karat gold. I presume they're CZs. I assume these are going to be CZs. But boy, if these aren't CZs, I don't really know how to price diamonds. But if those are diamonds, whoo, I feel like we really scored. Stay tuned for the next video for that. And I wanted to mention this because I thought this was interesting earlier on. Because I thought it might be silver. And then I found its mate, and I found that this is silver. And then I looked again, and I saw they are not mates. They don't belong to each other. So I think that one is not, which is interesting. And that just goes to show that sometimes, and I suspect these were put together. It goes to show, though, that sometimes you might have two that look the same, but actually don't belong to each other. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I also found these. Not sure exactly what they all are. I assume they all just fell out of earrings somewhere along the road. But they will go in with the rest of our gemstones. Probably CZs. I suppose we will have to test those when we do the next video, won't we? Whew. All right. So with that, I think we'll do the gold. And then I'll close out this video. And the next one will be all of the testing. This is the stuff that I think is gold, or that I thought could potentially be gold. The rest of that stuff is silver. We've had a look through it. But this stuff may very well be gold, although a lot of it could also be silver. So keep in mind that just because something has the gold tone doesn't mean it's not just plated like this one. Vermeil, that's just gold over silver. That's, I don't know what's going on with that, but it looks like it's plated. Is it? That is a weird one. I think that might just be old. And I think it's gold, but we will test that. We'll gold test that. I think that's probably going to end up coming out as gold. Although maybe not. Maybe that's just gold fill. Man. I don't know. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Next video, we'll know for sure what that is after we test it. What else we have in here? So 925, 585. Let's use our loop real quick. to see that it is 925. Into the silver you go. And you say something. CZ, probably going to be 925 again, isn't it? Can't quite make it out on the camera. You know, on your large screen, you might be able to see that. Well, yelling at me, that says 10K. Because that says 10K. Right there. Cool. Gold. What do we got here? 14K. Something. Do I see karat there? I do. Oh, it's 14K right there. It's upside down for you, but or 10K. I thought this was real pretty, but now that I see it, it's silver, which is fine. I thought it might have some gold associated to it. That doesn't look good at all, does it? That is nothing. Wait a minute. What? What? Okay. Okay, so that's fascinating. I'm guessing this screwed into a head like that, huh? And this screws into that. I don't know that we're going to see any markings on these, though. I'm guessing these are old. And I am definitely going to need some jewelry expertise on these guys. Don't see any markings on there, but I don't see anything that would indicate that's anything other than gold. And look at all that skin in there. This has been used a lot. So I'm guessing that's probably going to be, what, a sapphire? Probably a pretty nice one. Wow. Okay. We will test that, of course. $10 585, which is 14 karat. Yep. Man, this has been a mother load, hasn't it? 925. Yeah, I'll verify, but that should be 925 too. That one was 925. Okay, so we just have these little guys. This video is going to be a little longer than the other ones. Wow. There's a 585, so 14 karat. That one, let's say 10. Let's look. That's 10 karat. That says something. What do we think? You probably already knew this, but I just checked and it is 14 karat. That is missing some stones. It's a weird thing. What does it say in there? It says 14 karat. I don't know what to make of that. Never seen 14 karat with glued in stones and a screw back. It's a new one on me. But keep in mind, everything you're looking at, I thought was probably gold just from the initial look. So if it says it's gold, that's a confirmation of something I was already thinking. Like here we have 10 karat. This one, oh, gold fill. 14 karat gold fill. All right, you go in the gold fill. All right, let's finish out these last little guys. Pretty little things. So something there. That has a real gold look. It's real thick and heavy duty, holding that stone. I won't be surprised if this is a diamond at all. Oh yeah, there we go. 14 karat, looks like. Yep, that one said 14 karat, and this one was 585, so both 14 karat. What do we got here? Another one of these screw things. Is that also 14 karat? I think so. Let's see. Yep, that's also 14 karat right there. And we have a back. $14 karat. And last but not least, another one of those screws. And that's gonna be gold, isn't it? 14K right there. Yep, and in fact, I think that's a pair. Okie dokie. So, got a lot of gold, got a lot of silver, got even more silver. But that will do it for this video. So I hope you were able to learn something, or maybe if you didn't learn something new, this kind of video is useful to sort of train you to find quality. For example, you know, these pieces are quality. I think these are going to turn out to be gold. Quality or oddities, which will point you towards the fact that something's probably gold, and definitely train you to look for the markings and where you can find those markings, which is, I think it's valuable. When I say that I like to make videos that I would have found helpful when I first started looking for treasure, this is the kind of like training video that I think is actually something I would have loved. And I hope it's valuable to you. And if so, you know, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos around if you can. It really helps me out. But most importantly, I hope that you learned something in this video that you can use to go out and find your own treasure.
Like this, I've been Thomas.